let's go ahead and jump right into last week in Southern labor. This is what workers in the U.S. South and the American colonies were up to from May the 18th to the 24th. In new union campaigns, 2 workers at Spectrum in Washington, D.C. filed a petition to hold a union election with the International Union of Operating Engineers, IUOE, Local 99. 9 workers at BMC of St. Charles in O'Fallon, Missouri, filed a petition to hold a union election with the Teamsters, Local 682. 2 workers at Prime Communications in Opelika, Alabama, filed a petition to hold a union election with the Communication Workers of America, CWA, Local 3908. 55 security guards at Allied Universal in Tampa, Florida, filed a petition to hold a union election with the Security, Police, and Fire Professionals of America, SPFPA. 58 workers at Innovative Solutions Unlimited in Aiken, South Carolina, filed a petition to hold a union election with the Teamsters, Local 509. 7 workers at Ryder Transportation Solutions in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, filed a petition to hold a union election with the Teamsters, Local 89. In campaign updates, workers at Natural Grocers in Norman, Oklahoma, recently won a union election, and it has since come out that the small grocery store retained a union-busting consulting group at a rate of $450 per hour per person to try unsuccessfully to beat the union campaign, comprising of about a dozen low-wage grocery workers.
Mm.
In election,
that's a wild one.
That's wild. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, these folks making, like $11, $12 an hour. You're spending $450 an hour to kill a union. Absolutely bonkers. 28 workers at Barnes & Noble in Austin, Texas, voted 6-20 against unionization with the United Food and Commercial Workers, UFCW, Local 455. 20 workers at Vitamin College Natural Foods in Norman, Oklahoma, voted 11-9 in favor of UFCW, Local 1000. 15 workers at H&M in Melbourne, Florida, voted 13-1 in favor of unionization with UFCW, Local 1625. 13 workers at NTE Mobility Partners in Farmers Branch, Texas, voted 2-9 against unionization with the Transportation Systems Union. 3 security guards at Max Cent in Arlington, Virginia, in a first for me, did not vote, as in nobody voted in the election at all. So SPFBA did not win the election, and the company remains non-union. And I do not saw the note in there, Adam. I do not think that was a website error. I looked at the the letter of certification, and it said, no union. It didn't say the votes in the certification letter, but not that unreasonable to believe that 3 security guards didn't vote in their own union election. But I don't know. It's kind of bizarre, because they would have, at least one of them would have had to sign a petition to get the election called. So I don't know. Another weird one here in last week in Southern labor. 3 workers at Midwest Air Traffic Control Service voted 3-0 in favor of unionization with the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, NATCA. 79 workers at United Natural Foods and Albert's Organics in Sarasota, Florida, voted 75-0 in favor of unionization with Teamsters, Local 79. 73 workers at Lycée François de la Nouvelle Orleans in New Orleans, Louisiana, voted 52-12 in favor of unionization with the United Teachers of New Orleans, AFT, Local 527. 100 security guards at Paragon Systems in El Paso, Texas, voted 13-5 in favor of unionization with the SPFPA. In settlements, grievances, and unfair labor practices, the UAW has filed objections to the election at Mercedes in Vance, Alabama, demanding a rerun after egregious violations of the law, which included discharging pro-union workers, disciplining union supporters, and subjecting workers to mandatory anti-union propaganda meetings. Workers at a St. Louis Amazon warehouse filed unfair labor practice charges against the company for their surveillance of the workers and illegal activity under the National Labor Relations Act. In strikes and bargaining updates, after successfully unionizing with the United Steelworkers about this time last year, 1,500 workers at Bluebird in Fort Valley, Georgia, which is an electric bus manufacturer, ratified a contract this week that contains average raises of 12% over 3 years, with the lowest paid seeing over 40% in raises by the end of the contract. Additional provisions of the contract include establishing a retirement plan, profit sharing, and more. Acting Labor Secretary Julie Sue released a statement congratulating the workers. Teamsters Local 420 announced that members had ratified a contract with Molson Coors that includes increased wages and better benefits, according to the union, ending the 3-month strike. Durham, North Carolina educators are seeking recognition of their union, the Durham Association of Educators, through meet and confer rights with their local school board, and 50 of the union's members walked out of the most recent school board meeting in protest. In politics and legislation updates, the House Armed Services Committee defeated an anti-union amendment to the NDAA that would have removed project labor agreements from the act, with 4 of 30 GOP members joining all Democrats in opposition. 66,000 workers in Alabama are set to see an increase in pay thanks to the new overtime rule issued by the Biden Department of Labor. Democrats in the U.S. House and Senate introduced legislation to remove the cap on damages that can be awarded to victims of age discrimination with the support of AFGE. And Democrats also introduced the Public Service Freedom to Negotiate Act, which guarantees state and municipal workers the rights to collective bargaining that are enjoyed by private sector workers nationwide with the support of AFT and the CWA. In internal union affairs, rank-and-file workers Reese Murtaugh and Marty Rosato won election to the president and secretary-treasurer of the International Association of Machinists District Lodge 19, which represents 8,000 rail repairmen. And the SEIU has elected a new diverse leadership slate with the election of a black woman to the presidency of the SEIU. 2 of the 3 largest unions in the country are led by black women.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.